Good evening, and welcome to the Sports Empire. This is your boy Freddie Henderson, joined by one of my closest friends in the sports media world, Big Baby Jonathan. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on, man. It's a new season. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's get
Yeah.
it.
Hey, and then a new friend of mine, Mr. Angry Laker fan. What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just ready for tomorrow, Lakers Media Day. Hey, man, let's go.
Hey, brother, I wanna ask the question: Why angry Laker fan? Why the name?
Oh man, that's simple. That's simple. It's two reasons why that name it is what it is. Because one is because most of my life, a lot of people that really knew me always say I look mad or I always look angry. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I be doing those faces or certain faces. I just be looking. So that's one. And then two, if you look at the franchise since Dr. Jerry Buss passed, our record has been under 500. We've been horrible. Every not counting 2000, I mean 2020, not counting 2020, but other year, all the years we've been horrible. So there's a lot of anger built up from you know all those letdowns. So
Nah,
that's the reason why I got that name.
I feel you. What's up, Lennon? What's up, Coach Dante? We will have Doug on in a few. He'll be on in a few. This is the premiere of the Laker Talk 101 on the Sports Empire Network. Let's get things started, gentlemen. Like my brother said, Media Day is tomorrow, which means training camp is this week, which means preseason's right around the corner, and which means the season will begin where the Lakers begin their quest on number 18, which is always the goal, is to win championships. Um, I'm here my brother Gene. He's in the chat trolling. He said, I'll be angry too if I was a Laker fan. Uh, hey,
What's it?
brother, hey, it's something special about being a Laker fan. I'm just saying.
Man,
But let's get into it, you guys. These last couple weeks, we've added 2 point guards to the roster. And yes, we still have Russell Westbrook. No, he have not been traded. First, we added Patrick Beverly throughout via trade to the Utah Jazz. We sent THT and Stanley Johnson for Patrick Beverly. And then this past week, we signed Dennis Schroeder to make his return as a Laker. Um, Big Baby, what was your reaction to it, sir? Let's bring those two
So,
point guards.
First, Patrick Beverly. I feel like it's going to bring toughness to the team. He's going to fight every night. And it's going to rub off on the players. His toughness, his grit. Him and LeBron are really close. AD, and I feel like him and Westbrook, Patrick Beverly, and Westbrook, are going to practice. There's going to be a lot of competitiveness during practice. And as far as Dennis Shooter, I like it. Even though he didn't perform well in the playoffs, but I feel like he has unfinished business with this team. And I feel like he's going to have a chip on the shoulder to have a great season this year with the Lakers.
All right, angry. How do you feel about it? Like, what was your reaction?
tell you the truth, you know how they say, you hate the guy when he's playing against your team and you love him when he's on your team. Truth is, I really couldn't stand Patrick Beverly, for all those reasons. But I recognize his game. The dude can play defense. That's one thing we need. That's one thing that's under. That's up Coach Darvin Am's alley. We need somebody to be that dog. And I can actually see him being a voice in the locker room, like a Jared Dudley was. He's going to get the team riled up. He's going to get them hyped, every timeout, every pre and post game. He's going to be that voice. He going to lead by example. I like that. I was happy with the Patrick Beverly pickup.
I'm gonna tell you like this, you guys. So I'm like, okay, we're bringing on these point guards. What about forwards? I think that's one position that we lack depth in. That I think that we really need. Right now, we've seen a Jay Cutler. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking football right now. We see a Jay Crowder. He's available for the Phoenix Suns. If I'm the Lakers, I would try to see what would it take to get a Jay Crowder. because right now we have Anthony Davis as our power forward, Toscano Anderson, and maybe Cole Swider. But you're talking about, that's not a lot of depth in that position, especially for a guy in Anthony Davis who gets hurt very often. I do believe a Jay Crowder could play a backup role, could play, be that defensive forward, and also, knock down threes as well. That's pretty much what his role is in the NBA. I do like the Patrick Beverly addition because we do need somebody to be that perimeter guy. We have not had that guy since Alex Caruso, since the KCP, somebody who can be on the perimeter and guard your best guard. He is going to bring that dog mindset to this team, and he will hold Russell Westbrook accountable. Um, so if Russ tends to go do the things that he was doing, Patrick Beverly's not going to be afraid to call him out. When Anthony Davis go down to injury, he's not going to be afraid to call him out. When LeBron James miss an assignment on the defensive end, he's not going to be afraid to call him out. So I do like that addition. Dennis Schroeder, I mean, we've been down that road before, you guys. I mean, he started off really great. We thought that he was going to be a guy that can, bring a big impact to our team. He averaged about 15 points a game with us, but when he came to the postseason, he kind of fizzled out. I'm just curious, how they're going to use him. Does this create a little bit of flexibility for the Lakers? If Russ do tend to have a season like he did last year, would Darvin Ham have enough guts to put Russell Westbrook on the bench and maybe start a Patrick Beverly and Dennis Schroeder come off the bench? And then this also tells me that they are not as confident in Kendrick Nunn, because we didn't see Kendrick Nunn at all last year. Apparently, it's supposed to have been a bruised knee, but I've never seen a bruised knee take a year to heal from. I think that was a little bit more serious than they put it out there. But Bennett, we definitely have depth in the guard position. The one thing I don't like is taking minutes away from Scottie Pippen Jr. Because I was looking forward to seeing that kid get some playing time. Because I know it's summer league, but we've seen some things out of Scottie Pippen Jr. in the summer league that was great. He was not afraid to attack inside the paint. He can score at will, but I'm pretty sure we won't see him at all this season unless something drastic happens.
Go ahead and be like Sean.
Um, the whole Dennis Schroeder thing. I never thought of it as us not having confidence or really I guess you could say not having confidence in the recovery of Kendrick Nunn. I didn't look at it that way, so that was a great point that you brought up. Um, I think it. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not, but I think he's going to be, more focused this time around. Because the first time we traded for him, he was expected to start, and that's where a lot of his, play came from. Because his mindset he was in, oh, he has to start, he has to do this, he's not coming off the bench. But I think since the last time he's been a Laker, he's been very humble. So I think we're going to see a totally different Dennis Schroeder. And I think with this coach and this coaching staff, everything will be held more, under control than Frank Vogel. So I think it'll be good. And as far as Scottie Pippen Jr., I was very high on him. I really want him to get some play. I mean, even if he come in as an off guard, I don't know how that's going to work, but he does have defense. He can play make. I think him and Cole Swider made a good twosome over there. Kind of reminded me of Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma a little bit. But yeah. I would love to see Scottie Pippen Jr. I mean, he's on a two-way, so I'm sure they do happen in sports. Injuries and all that. So I'm sure if anybody get hurt, he'll make his way up there. Or if he showing some, what he's supposed to show in, down there in the G League, he'll get a call up. I have a feeling him or Sawada are going to be up there.
All
Yeah,
right.
most definitely, man. Now, um, Dennis Shooter, I think it's gonna work, and I feel like him and AD, LeBron already had that chemistry. The first in LA, I feel like he's going to start the sixth man. I just feel like he's going to bring the second unit. The energy and stuff. If you have to bring Patrick Beverly with off the bench too with Dennis Schroeder, I like the combination. You know what I mean? And as far as Scottie Pippen Jr., I like his game too. His floor general skills is good. You know, like Angry Lakers fan said, the third guard coming off. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. My personal opinion, I feel like he's going to be in the G League next year. All year, you get improvement, and then probably going to see next year, and that's when he's going to see him get an opportunity to try to be on this Laker team next year. My personal opinion.
All right, let's move to the next topic. Um, you guys, the Lakers have been trying to trade Russ all summer long. It
Mm-hmm.
started with the whole Kyrie Irving deal. We've seen how that went. That went on for about a month and a half. And then finally, Brooklyn resigned Kyrie, so they're not trading him. And then, we called our old friends, the Indiana Pacers, about Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. The Pacers are willing to trade him, but they said they want the two first round draft picks, 2027 and 2029. The Lakers said, no way, no how, we're not doing it. And then Utah, when started this bonfire, and then Boban got traded. So now it was reports that Utah, no, the Indiana have called the Lakers again, discussing a trade around Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, but they also want the two first round draft picks. But the Lakers don't want them. If you was Rob Pelinka and you had a chance to get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner for Russ and the two first round draft picks, I'm gonna start with you, angry Laker fan. Are you doing the trade or are you not doing
Well, seeing as we are the Lakers and we're based on, you know, contending for championships, I would have made that trade, especially seeing how Russell Westbrook played last year. I mean, you would have gave us another big man that can play maybe the 4 and the 5 because he can stretch, he can protect the rim. You give us another reliable shooter in Buddy Hield. Uh, no, he's not the lockdown defender. That would have been great, but he could, knock down the shots. So I mean, I would have did it. I mean, people say, and me included, at one point, saying, the draft picks, we should keep them, or do you think we should keep them? But after further review, I mean, we tried building through the draft for like years before we even got LeBron James, and it took us nowhere. So I think we should just move forward with the trying to build this roster with veterans as well as youth, and because building through the draft is not going to work. So to answer your question, yes, I would have did that trade 100 times out of 100.
it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I want to welcome our other co-host of the show, Big Time. What's going on, Big Time?
First of all, before we even get started, Big Baby, Angry Lakers fan, and Freddie, welcome. I'm glad to hang with you guys. But first things first, whenever y'all see me, it just ain't no doubt about it. The crowd, woo, it goes wild. What's going on, y'all? I'm in the
What's
house.
going on, brother?
What's up with
Hey, Big Time.
yo?
Like I was telling them, man, the Lakers in Indiana, they circled back around and, rediscussed the same trade with Russ, the two first round draft picks for Miles Turner and Buddy Hill. The Lakers do not want to give up both draft picks. But if you're Rob Pelinka, sir, if you're in control of the Lakers right now, are you doing that deal or are you not doing it?
I might give one away, but I'm not giving two away because see, you know, it's really it's really it's almost like you damned if you do, damned if you don't type scenario. You want to win now because you want to get as much as you can out of LeBron and street clothes. You have to make sure that you try to get as much as you can out of it, and in order to do that, you ain't got time for rookies. But at the same time, LeBron is not going to be here but a couple more years. You can't mortgage the farm like we did a couple years ago. And then when LeBron leaves or he finally maybe starts playing his age, which I doubt that might happen. But when it does, okay, when he leaves or when his son comes into the league and he goes where his son is, wherever that may be, then where the Lakers at after that? Because you done traded away your first round draft picks. I mean, what you got? You can't depend on Anthony Davis because he stay healthy. I mean, he's unhealthy. It's just no question about that. So it's kind of like you want to win now. You can see the benefit, but at the same time, we got to start acting like as an organization that LeBron, we can't base everything off LeBron right now. We have to start looking 3 years down the road now. I mean, we really ain't got no choice. That's my opinion. I understand trying to win now, but we got to be smart. I'm not giving 2 picks away. That's just I'm not. I might give one, but I'm not giving 2. No way.
Excellent point.
Yeah, for me, I would give one pick away. If I'm the Lakers, because Westbrook doesn't fit with this team. What I saw last year, and I feel like it's just time to move on from the stuff that he's been saying last year. And then today, an article came out from Wojnarowski saying that he's going to do everything he can to win. But why didn't you say it last year when you came to the Lakers? You know, and I don't believe it. Anything he says, he has to prove it on court to me. And yeah, that's how I feel about Westbrook. What you get
Man,
about LA?
hey, big baby, like yeah, I done wrote that dude off. Like yeah, I've been down this road before.
Because he
Yeah,
said he doesn't have any expectations as a Laker.
I'm gonna say this. I don't. I'm gonna say this, you guys. I'm gonna really. I'm gonna say this in a good way. But I'm actually. I actually just pulled up that article. You're absolutely right. He said, "I'm all in, whatever it takes for the team to win." And when you say that, Russ, and I hope you're watching, when you say that you're all in and you do whatever it takes to help the team win, if Darvin Ham comes to you and say, Russ, I think the best thing for you to do is to come off the bench, then you need to listen. You need to listen, don't need to pout. If he tells you that we need you to compete on the defensive end, put all your energy on the defensive end, then we need you to do that, Russ. Um, that's what we expect when you make statements like, I'm all in for the team. I'll do whatever it takes to help that team win. Um, also, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I would do the trade because we know two things. LeBron plays best. LeBron AD play best around people that can shoot, guys that can shoot 3 pointers. We know Buddy Hill can light it up from three. We know Miles Turner can be that stretch big that we need. Somebody, could you imagine hit them two, Miles Turner and AD in the paint together? But even it gets even better big time because I know how you feel about Anthony Davis. You feel that this guy's a street clothes. But guess what? If AD get hurt, we have somebody who can put at the four. I'm not saying that he gonna give us numbers like AD, but he can hold it down until AD comes back. Um, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it depth because, like I mentioned earlier, right now we don't have that much depth at the four position other than Toscano Anderson from the Golden State Warriors and Cole Swider. But the question is how much are you going to trust that those guys are going to be able to give you some respectable numbers that can help LeBron, help Russ lead this team. But you bring in a Miles Turner, I believe that he can fill a void until comes back. That's my standpoint on things. Hold on, Con man. I love you, my brother, but I'm gonna correct you on one thing. Russ put up good numbers last year. You are absolutely correct. 10 years down the road, when we forgot about the season, forgot what the eye test showed us, we're gonna look up those numbers and we can say, man, Russ was our third best player of that season. Russ was a great player that season. He put up a lot of numbers. But when you go through the shooting percentage, when you go through the turnovers, and when you even just go to the eye test, the plays on the court is going to tell you, it's going to show you a lot of different things.
Yeah,
But
you have to have watched the game to realize what we're talking about. It's the eye test. I mean, yeah, he averaged, almost a triple double, but if you look at all the turnovers and all the boneheaded shots, missing layups, I mean, come on now.
Another thing on that is that let's just be honest. We talking about a guy who who does not know how to be anything but a number one option. That's all he knows. And so bringing him into this team last year, automatically, if everybody's healthy, he's the number three option. Russell Westbrook does not know how to be a number three. It's just his game is not suited for that.
Mhm.
So even we still gonna have the same problem this year if the guys are healthy. And then here's the other thing. Everybody talking about him coming off the bench would probably be that's the only way he can get to a number one option. That's the only way. But if he's in the starting lineup, that was even talk about him moving to the two guard, something that he has not done. He's always been a point guard. I mean, so now if let's just say he does go to number two, okay, your number one is Dunn or Beverly or all them other guards that we got. Okay. We ain't even talking about LeBron being the point guard, bring the ball up. So he's still this, is he can't do it. That's just not in him
Mhm.
to take a backseat. This dude been number one option since he was a little kid. He's not Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is the only person I know that was scoring like that and adjusted his game to fit
Kevin
D
Love too.
Wade and LeBron. That's the
Oh
only
yeah,
person I seen do that. Russ can't. That's not him. So we're gonna have this same problem next year. That's just me.
So, so we're gonna have a prediction moment. Like I said, since media day, training camp, all that good stuff starting up this week, we're going to break down our expectation for each player on this roster for this upcoming season. We'll start with the best player on the team, and then we'll go all the way down to the last one on the roster. So we'll start with LeBron. Big baby, what do you expect from LeBron? Like minutes, how many points he's going to average? Like what type of season are you going to expect out of him this year?
Probably a great season like usual. Probably I'd say he's gonna average 26 points. Usual 9 rebounds, 10 assists, somewhere in that frame. Minutes probably they're probably limited his minutes this year, probably like 20 to 30 this year. I feel like they're using about minutes restriction this year. My personal opinion, you know.
My standpoint on that is I I don't think LeBron like it's funny. I laugh when Vogel he said it a couple of years. Oh yeah, we're going to limit LeBron minutes, and LeBron would say something different. LeBron gonna play as many minutes as LeBron want to play, so we might as well just stop that minute restriction thing. I don't think unless he wants to do it, I don't really see that happening. I can see him averaging about 26, 27. I don't think he's going to go back to back years averaging 30. I believe he can give us about 5 or 6 rebounds, 6, 7 rebounds a game, about 6 assists, somewhere around in there. But I do expect LeBron to kind of take that role of kind of feeding AD like he did the first year AD was here, and letting Russ and feed off Russ, a little bit better as well, because LeBron do know that he has to try to make this work. Let's not forget, Russ is only here because LeBron and AD wanted him here. And so LeBron's going to go out there and say, okay, Russ, I'm going to play behind you because we know, like Doug said, that he has to be a number one option. He has to have the ball in his hand. And I believe it's going to be more of us a fast paced team, play defense and lead off the fast break, Russ pushing it, and AD and LeBron trailing. And then we go from there. So that's where I'm going with it on LeBron season. And whoever else want to go next.
Um, first off, with LeBron, um, first and foremost, I just want him to be healthy. Because a lot of his injuries were very unfortunate. Um, so if he could stay healthy and at least give us a solid 65 to 70 games this season, we'd be all right. And if he does that, I think he's gonna beat Kareem record for sure. And I could see him, being more of an assist guy as well because Darvin Ham said he does want the ball in LeBron's hands more, which is smart in my opinion because he's best when he's the point guard. Um, but yeah, I'm just piggybacking off everything Big Baby said. He's gonna get his little maybe 8 to 9 assists a game, probably average like between 25 to 27 points. Do what he got to do, but first and foremost, I just want him to stay healthy.
And real quick too, before I forget, the Lakers are going to be at the casino where I stay at in Temecula, California. I'm going to be at the Pachanga, so I'm going to be doing some cribbage over there.
Mm.
I think. I'm sorry. I think that first of all, this is really all the what he averages is going to be dependent upon street clothes. I mean, look, let's just be honest, y'all. I mean, if Anthony Davis does what he usually does, which is get hurt just when he go to the mailbox and the wind blowing, he got a sprained ankle because of the wind blowing, then LeBron gonna average 30. If Anthony Davis is on the court, he probably will average somewhere between 24 and 25. That's so it's really depending on Anthony Davis to be flat out honest with you. Yeah, I will say this. With the people that we've gotten so far, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get a whole bunch of shooters around. And we're better at shooting with the people that we have now than we were last year. We're not Golden State or anybody, but we're better at shooting now. So you can see the game plan. Kick it to Anthony Davis. He get double team, kick it out, shoot threes. LeBron goes in the lane. The defense collapses to him. He kick it out, shoot threes. You can see what's going on. So based off that, I am saying that LeBron possibly could lead the league in assists again this year. I believe that because if the guys somewhat stay healthy, it's really dependent on him. And then let's also be honest with this. LeBron is getting hurt every year too. He is. Whether it's knick-knack or whatever, he's missing a few games himself. And a lot of that is going to be dependent upon what Anthony Davis does. So that's just me.
Well, speaking of Anthony Davis, he's the next player on the list.
Gosh.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, and even Darvin Ham said it in his press conference. Anthony Davis is a big key to our success. This is going to be a big year for Anthony Davis, and I believe if he have a year like he did this year, not available, I would not be surprised if the Lakers found a way to put him in a trade conversation this upcoming offseason. And then that's just something the Lakers, and to be honest, the Lakers don't do that. We don't trade superstars like that. I mean, I know we traded Shaq, but that's something rare that we do. We don't really do that. But Anthony Davis, we brought you in here to be that second piece to help lead us to the championship, to help ease the load off of LeBron. And honestly, if we're being honestly, you kind of put more of a load on LeBron because you're not always available to play basketball. We know the talent that you got, Anthony Davis. And you know what, Anthony Davis, you should be motivated because did you see that top 100 list that they just put out the other day? I thought it was disrespectful for them to have Rudy Gobert above you on that list. That should have you motivated. Like, at times we question AD's motor, we question the heart. I want to see AD come in every game motivated, get in the post, like, hey, give me the ball. Like, hey, let me get the ball. But he also needs to stay healthy. Um, so I'm going to say that AD is going to have a bounce back season. I'm not going to say he's going to put up some crazy numbers. I'm going to say that he's going to just put up his 27 points a game, give us about 9 rebounds a game, 2 or 3 assists, and a block or two a game. But I'm predicting about 60 games for Anthony Davis this year. Um, And we have a comment from Mr. Marvin Price. He said, if we play defense like we played last year, nothing will work. Offense was not a problem last year. Hey, Marvin, I definitely agree with you on that. And it seemed like the Lakers definitely realized that problem. They got a lot of young guns. They brought in guys that play defense like Alani Walker the fourth, Patrick Beverly, a Dennis Schroeder, guys like that is a defensive minded. We still have Anthony Davis. When he's on the court, he's one of the best defensive players in the game. So, yeah, like Doug said, all going to depend on Anthony Davis on what he do. Big Baby, give us your reaction to Anthony Davis season, like your predictions and all that.
AD has to stay healthy because if he's not healthy, we ain't doing anything this year. Because AD is a big part of our team too. He got to stay healthy. I say he's gonna average around. Ooh, I feel like it's gonna be if he stays healthy. I feel like he's gonna average like 26 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks a game. And I feel like he's gonna be around like 30 to 35 minutes this year. He just has to stay healthy, man. Because I keep 100. I feel like once he won that title, he stopped being motivated. He said, "I got the ring. I'm good." And there was a video game. There's a video of him playing a video game, and guess what happened? Him playing the video game, he got injured in the game. So it's like, and AD had a look on his face like, "Are you serious?" So it's like he has to stay healthy, man. Because if I agree with you, Freddie. If he has a bad year, it's time to get on the phone with like Chicago or New York or one of the teams in the Eastern Conference to get a good value for Anthony Davis. But we'll see what happens. That's just me.
Angry Laker fan, give us your take, sir.
All right, I just have two takes. Two takes. One, like everybody said, he definitely has to stay healthy. If he can give us at least a good 60 games healthy, that'd be a big accomplishment, big improvement. You know, just stay healthy for one, and two, for us to be very successful, the games he is healthy to play, he has to play like a potential defensive player of the year. In order for us to do what we got to do. That's my take on Anthony Davis.
Next player. Where you
Angry,
going?
angry, angry Lakers fan. I need you to get angry when it comes to Anthony Davis. I need you to unleash because that's what I'm about to do. Let me
Hey,
tell
trust
y'all
me,
something.
trust me.
If it walk like a duck and it talk like a duck, it is not a cricket. This dude stay hurt. He was hurt in Kentucky. He was hurt in New Orleans. He was hurt with the Lakers. Let's stop acting like this dude ain't gonna get hurt. Now, if you tell me he been delivered, he went to church and had the anointing oil on him, and somebody prayed over his body, then we'll see. I believe in the power of prayer. I believe God can do anything. But he gonna have to do something there today because man, the man blow his nose. He crack a vertebrae in his back. I'm just telling you, the man can't stay healthy at all, period. So I'm not holding on to the dream, not even for 60 games. Freddie, you just said something that just reminded me of something. You said that top 100 players and he wasn't, where you thought he should be. I got a better one than that. This man was voted on to the all-time 75th anniversary team. He shouldn't have been there. What in the world is he on the team for? It just don't make any sense. See, everybody's giving him stuff that I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying he can't play. Everybody knows he can play. But the best attribute is availability. And if you're not available, you ain't worth the dime. You're killing that. The Lakers gave up everything to get him. And in return, I can't see. Let me stop. The championship was won, so he paid his debt. I give him that, but I can't bank my future on this dude. He's just not healthy enough for me. And so when it comes to him, come on, y'all. I understand what we want it to be, but look, the guy that just left just said the main rating in the game put him out. I mean, and he injured in a video game. I mean, come on now. Everybody know he can't stay healthy. So I don't have a lot of expectations, but Freddie and angry Laker fans, let me tell you something. Freddie brought it up, and I'm not trying to be funny, but it's the truth. Now, if you want to go ahead and restack the team, this is the guy that you can trade, and
Now, now, now,
you're gonna get a lot for him. I'm serious. Now, you want to talk about the future after LeBron? That's the trade. It ain't LeBron and waiting on no. It ain't Miles Turner and Buddy Hield and all that kind of stuff. You trade away Anthony Davis. Watch what happens. We stocking for the next 5-6 years after that. That's just me.
all right, big time. Everything you said. When I had my old YouTube channel, I made countless videos of being angry at Anthony Davis and saying we should trade him. I'm just tired of being angry about that. I'm just trying to be optimistic, but I agree with you. I agree with you. It's been times where I said I don't trust him as my number one option. He's a great Robin at best. I don't, if we trade him, that'd be great. I mean, if he don't live up to expectations, I would put him up on the trade block. This upcoming offseason.
Hey, Freddie, Angry Lakers fan, listen to me. Coach Marv, that's Coach Marvin Price there, that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it at the time that we start? I don't mean to check the man, but I'm serious. He is looking rather soft these days. I'm just saying.
Hey, Doug, hold on, Doug. I want to get some bright news. Hey, Doug, I got some bright news for you. This might make you feel a little bit better. Anthony Davis had played more basketball than Paul George and Kawhi since being in LA. Does that make you feel a little bit better? Just a little bit.
I'm glad we passed up on Kawhi, or Kawhi passed up on us.
Kawhi street clothes too. But he's street clothes too. Paul George the same way. They all cut from the same cloth. They done messed up the clipboard when both. But when it come to Kawhi and George, both of them get hurt at the same time. It seems like. You know what I'm saying? Their whole organization, the Clippers, it don't be one and then the other. No, it seems like they get hurt all together. Clippers go down. LeBron at least gets hurt after he tried to put the team on his back. Anthony Davis already gone. You see what I'm saying? He already gone. He usually get hurt by the All-Star break, be gone 3 months, come back for about 10 games, get hurt again, and he's showing me Gucci, showing me the latest T-shirts, showing me the latest jeans, the latest sunglasses. They still ain't cut that eyebrow yet. He just gets on my nerves, man.
Hey, rocking a new hairstyle. Don't know if it's gonna be in a fro.
Yeah, you don't know what it is, man. Come on, man. Look, if I want to see fashion show, I turn on the TV and watch the fashion channel or something like that. I need him in a Laker uniform. You see this thing right here behind me right here? See that number 3 back there? I ain't seen him in that in a long time, man. What I have seen is Gucci sunglasses, Gucci jeans, Gucci t-shirt. He probably got Gucci underwear on. I don't know what he got on, but I'm sick of him, man. Put this Laker uniform on.
All right, let's move to the next player, and that next player is Russell Westbrook. We've already talked about last year. I'm gonna go over expectations that I think Russ is gonna do. I do think Russ is gonna have a better year this year. And the reason why I say that is because Russ isn't like Kyrie Irving, and that's a good thing. Russ is a competitor, and he's always been known as a competitor. Um, Russ is a guy that's going to compete at a high level. You can never really question his hustle. But I do believe that Darvin Ham's going to be in him on playing defense this year. Because I think that's going to be on everybody. Because I don't think you can be on a Darvin Ham led team without playing committed to the defensive end. So I'm gonna expect him to give us about the same 15, 16 points, but I expect his shots to be easier. I expect Darvin Ham to put him in a better position. Um, maybe he's attacked around the basket more instead of leaning on this jump shot, instead of leaning on the 3-point shot. So I do think he's going to shoot a little bit more efficient than he did last year. Now his 3 point shot, it is what it is. I mean, he's never been that great 3 point shooter in his career, so it is what it is when it comes to him. Um, but I think his main key is I think it's gonna be around the basket, him playing defense and leading us in transition. And Anthony, let me answer your question, brother. Uh, See, you can get away with things at Oklahoma City Thunder. You can get away with things at the Houston Rockets. You can get away with things at the Washington Wizards. But when you enter the Staples Center, CryptoArena.com, whatever it's called, enter when you put on that purple and gold, it comes with expectations. Now, this is the first time Russ have had the expectations that you're expected to win, that you're expected to put on a show. And sometimes the cameras get too the lights get too bright for you. And he definitely did not have a good year last year. And every little thing that you do is going to be called out upon. Even why now, if you're winning, I guarantee if they're winning, Russ is going to be. They're going to love Russ. They're going to talk so good about him, and he's going to love it in LA. But when you losing, we all know how bad it can get in LA. Um, yeah, and I agree, Anthony. You have to tell Anthony Davis too. I understand that he got to stay healthy, but the one thing that he can say is he have delivered on one championship, and Russ haven't got to that point yet. So that's what I expect out of Russ. Angry Laker fan. What do you expect out of Russ this year?
Um, like you said, I expect him to have a better year. Don't know how much better, but I think he's going to have a better year for two reasons. Um, all eyes are going to be on him, and it's the contract year. So he's playing for a contract for whatever team that wants to pick him up. So he's gonna play smart, and not only because of that, we have a more no nonsense coaching staff. So he's not going to be able to get away with a lot of things he did last season. And I want to answer that question of why do people hate Russ and all that type of stuff. It's not that I hate Russ. It's the fact that people getting their feelings when we talk about his play. Like I know I wasn't watching the games by myself. I mean, we all seen what this man was doing last year. ESPN had fun making low lights of this dude. I mean, we seen it. I mean, everybody keep bringing up, oh, he averaged this, he averaged that. Okay, bring up how many turnovers did he average? Y'all never bring that up. How many times did he shoot the ball on the side of the rim? How many layups did he miss? I mean, we all watched the game. He wasn't that good last year. Maybe it was, the bright lights getting to him. Maybe he'll bounce back from all of that. I'm hoping he does. And but the only two reasons why I think so is because all eyes will be on him, including the coaching staff, and he's playing for a contract. So he's going to have to play up to par.
I believe he's gonna be good, but it's gonna be somewhere else.
Mm-mm.
My expectation is that he will not be in a Los Angeles Laker uniform when the season starts. It's
Mm.
not a coincidence, everybody, that the Lakers are loading up on guards. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that they're trying to get Buddy Hield. Is right now they even we just with the guards that we have, they're already talking about him coming off the bench. So they're pushing him out. I mean, because they already know he just does not fit. And so my expectation is that eventually uh, desperation is going to come into play, and the Lakers need shooting. I mean, real shooting, a Buddy Hield type shooter. That's what they need. That if they really want to try to make a real advancement deep into the playoffs, you're gonna have to have some real shooters because the game is set up. with Anthony Davis if he's out there and LeBron to take double teams and they just gonna kick it out and somebody got to put it in the hole. And Russell Westbrook has never been able to do that. You're battling for minutes now. You know what I'm saying? You're battling for minutes. I don't think he's gonna be there. That's just me. I think that they're loading up on guards for a reason. They're trying to just get him out of there. All they got to do is just depend on what the price is. The price is just a little bit too steep with Indiana, in my opinion. But you never know what desperation may do. They don't want Russell Westbrook. I don't care what Coach Ham says and everybody else says. They want him gone. They wanted him gone last year. It just cost too much. Nobody don't want his contract. That's all it is. If the contract was lower, he'd been gone last year.
Anthony Price questions, random question. Do you think the Lakers are better off without LeBron and Davis? Hey, Anthony, minus the injuries. I know that's a big minus because that's been a big part. But when those two are healthy, they are a dangerous team to play against. They're hard to beat. The chemistry those two have is remarkable, and they have won a championship. Um, I do. I just wish that they didn't move so quickly after that championship year and break up that team. Because that's something that just never really happens. That when you win it, like look at Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors didn't break up their team. They didn't go out and lose key pieces to that championship team. They added, I believe who they had. They added a shooter. I can't think of his name right now. From oh man, that's gonna bother my mind, my head too. Thinking about it, they added a shooter, but that's about it. They still have the same core pieces to that championship team. And that's one thing I think the Lakers made a mistake. And then, granted, they and people don't want to. People keep saying this is an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's facts, ladies and gentlemen. The Lakers had a short turnaround that offseason where those guys really didn't have the time to rest their body because the season was over, and then boom, 2 months later, they're back playing basketball. And we do know when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron, they need a full offseason to rest, especially Anthony Davis. But hey, our time frame has come up to the end, so we covered the big three. So next week we'll cover some training camp info. We'll be, we'll cover the media day that's happening tomorrow, and hopefully we can, see some footage, players and individuals, and then we'll just each week we'll just cover, 3 or 4 players that we think go over the expectation. We'll start with Lonnie Walker the fourth, Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder, and those guys. Let's go down the list. Um,
Whoa, 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 whoa. That last comment there, that's not quite right. They're better now, Anthony Price. But look how long it took him to get there. When he left Cleveland the first time, how long did that take before they finally get? They just got good this last year. So let's think about that. When he left Miami, Miami went from a championship finals team in the championship to the first pick in the draft. I mean, the top 5 pick in the draft. Miami just now getting a little bit. Of course, they went to the finals. They beat them. But I'm saying, look at the gap of when he does leave. Yeah, they get better. But when you drafting in the lottery every year, come on now. You're supposed to get better if you're getting the top player in the draft every year. So it's not in it. When LeBron leaves, there's a problem there for the next at least 3-4 years. So let's not act like LeBron leaving everybody get better immediately. That don't happen. That's all I got to say about that.
yes, sir. But man, I think this is a great first episode. Next week we'll be back. At same time. We'll have Doug, angry Laker fan, Big Baby. Big Baby have a situation pop up. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank all the viewers for coming in. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Um, if you can find Doug on the Big Time Show, he talks about yes the Cowboys. But I keep trying to become a guest on the show, but he won't let me become that guest. I don't know why.
Never. Go ahead. Just never.
See,
Now I can sum it up in one word. Never.
see, Doug, that hurts my feelings, sir,
Just
because I
move
thought
on.
we was friends.
Yeah, we friends, right? Long we talking about this, but I don't have a section in my show for the hater corner. See, I don't. If I had the hater corner, I'll call you every week and let you get about 5 minutes or so. You can just troll Cowboy fan. But we trying to inform everybody. I don't need your negative energy on my show. Let's just keep it purple and gold for now. I'm with you on this.
Hey, big angry fan, tell the folks where they can find you at, sir.
You can follow my YouTube channel. Just search Lakers World Order. Subscribe. I do Lakers content, even basketball content. All teams. I'll be doing a lot of Lakers content when the season happens. But every Sunday, I'll be right here.
I'm right here. Y'all can see it right above my head. Just go to YouTube, the Big Time Show. Look for the videos with this face in it. Subscribe there. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm the top one. I'm one of the top notch guys. You know, I'm ready. When it comes to the Lakers, I'm the same way. It's top notch every time wherever we go. And I'm happy to be with Freddie and angry Lakers fan and the big baby, and I'm looking forward to a crazy year.
Oh yeah.
I believe every Sunday that when we come on, there will be something to talk about. I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about something serious. It'll begin tomorrow with the media day. It's gonna start there. Somebody's gonna say something that's gonna be like, "Wow, you really said that." And then when we get to training camp, we have to pray and ask God, can He just some kind of way keep Andy Davis? Matter of fact, Andy Davis need to be treated like preseason football. Just don't play. Don't go on, put your street clothes on. Your first time is on opening night. That's when you do not play in preseason. Don't you? I'm almost scared of him practicing right now. I'm serious. I'm saying it is what it is.
Yes, sir. But this definitely gonna be a good show for the season, and it's gonna be crazy. Want to thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great night. We are out of here.